So, this is going to start sounding kind of neo-political, but it's really not. You just have to bear with me. You have to go on the journey with me, okay? I never fought in a war, but I know someone who did. He told me all about his experiences. He told me about the maps, the plans, the strategies, how his band of brothers overtook an embassy. He told me that war is hell, but that they went in together, and when they came out, they formed a bond that was forever. The most important thing he told me, though, was about the rules that him and his brothers followed. 1, never fire upon civilians and don't even think about hurting those children. 2, never leave anyone behind. 3, don't fire till you see the whites in their eyes. And if you see their hands up in the sky, then 4, we take them back alive. Because although they're our enemies, they're just like you and me, fighting a war for their elderlies, dreaming of being home with their families. He told me about the first time he killed a man. He told me about the blood in his hands. He told me that wasn't a metaphor, that the blood actually dripped from his hands to the floor because he got caught with his weapon on the ground, and his enemy could have squeezed the trigger and put him down, but instead, he threw his weapon to the side and gave him fought him by hand and gave him a chance to survive. And he did, because his enemy too had a code, to die with honor than to live as a false hero. He told me he kept a picture of a girl. He told me he kept a picture on the shoulder of a girl back home. He couldn't wait to see her. But when he got home, she was gone, fell into another man's arms. But he justified his broken heart and said, all is fair in love and war. And I thought about what he said. And that's bullshit. War has rules. Love is for anarchists. If war is tactical, precise, and swift, then love is blindly swinging fists. On the field, when my friend got caught unarmed, love would have pumped him with a machine gun. I've never been in love, but I know someone who was. He told me love is hell. If you smell it, run. You go in alone, you come out alone. Those friendships you made, forget it, they're gone. He spent years wondering what he did wrong, but when there are no rules, what do you base rightness on? He told me he got hit by Cupid's arrow, but not just any arrow, a Barnett Ghost 350 crossbow, a self-cocking, fully automatic, tactical pistol precision grip custom, and he launched like 10 of them right into his spine with a shit-eating grin and smile benign. He said his aim was perfect, but somehow his vision would blur every time he aimed the bow after the girl he was after. He told me about the first time he fell in love. He told me about his poor, broken heart. He told me how cruelly she did it, how she left him alone to pick up the pieces. He told me he'd give anything to go back to where they were, but that his pride kept him from calling her. So he let her go, released her to the world, so that she could be somebody else's girl. I listened to their stories and I asked them both, if wars are won with careful deliberation, then why is love fought with reckless abandonment? And they both said the same thing. Because wars are fought with great hesitation, love is won with open arms and no regrets. I'm not sure I know what that means, but someday, maybe. Thanks. I love hypothetical scenarios. I've been in 3 breakups and 1 fistfight because of hypothetical scenarios. I once successfully argued that if money suddenly became worthless, PlayStations would be used as currency. That's why when I was posed with an interesting hypothetical question the other day, I took that day off of work to ponder, like it was my job to ponder. The question was, if you had to remove one of the 5 senses from all humans everywhere, which would you remove? Well, let's deduce. Do I get rid of smell? After all, I'm not a bloodhound. I don't need to go sniffing people's butthole to figure out if I'm going to be a suitable mate. Though maybe I should start. I will no longer fear an olfactory meltdown walking into the bathroom after my friend Andre, a 6'5" MMA bodybuilder who eats upwards of 6,000 calories just to keep his monster physique. But let me tell you, after months away from my parents' house, I know I'm home because I'm greeted to the waft of Persian food coming from my mother's kitchen, and I cannot lose that. So smell can stay. Since we're talking about food, what about taste? I've never made a rational decision because of my sense of taste. I didn't order a double large peanut butter chocolate caramel milkshake because of its nutritional content. Dieting would be so much easier, nothing but celery sticks and rabbit food. But I've had an authentic New York cheesecake. And when I did, my teeth became a cage whose only job was to keep my tongue from jumping with joy out of my mouth and burning up into the sun. And I wonder how many other tastes are out there like that I have yet to try. So taste can stay. Well, how about touch? Without touch, I can finally own a pet porcupine. I can root cacti with these, I can throw away my oven mitts, bring on your coarse or uncomfortably moist, I can handle it. But But I can't get rid of touch because of Monica. Monica's a girl I met one night in Los Angeles. She had perfect eyes, perfect skin, a perfect nose, and the first time I got to place my hands upon her perfect breasts, touch can stay. Hearing, gone are the days of airliners polluted with the sounds of crying babies over the airways. The neighbors are partying till 3 a.m. on a weekday. Rage on, neighbors, you only live once. But I think of all the future generations to come will never be able to bask in the enjoyment of listening to the Smashing Pumpkins' Melancholy and Infinite Sadness and its 160 minutes of raw, guitar-infused, face-melting glory, and I cannot deny them of that, so hearing can stay. Ultimately, I decided to eliminate sight from all human senses everywhere, and I was immediately objected against. Sight? Really? Aren't you gonna miss things like colors, the sun reflecting on ocean waters, the look of a perfectly prepared Eggs Benedict, LSD, blonde hair, red hair, brunette hair, black hair, no hair, the Princess Bride, the spotlight flooding the view of the audience, lens flares, dogs and their dopey faces, meteor showers, twin babies dressed alike, Monica's breasts, people falling down but not getting hurt, bonfires on summer nights, magnolias. Why would you get rid of sight? Because if you and I no longer had our eyes, maybe then you could finally see me. And I could see you for who we really are. Thank you.